So maybe I'm misunderstanding why you wait, but there really is, it seems, if it seems like a lag on your end, it really isn't on the YouTube end. But again,
Oh,
maybe I'm misunderstanding.
okay, that's good. So the delay is not showing up on YouTube.
That's right. There's always 20 seconds of you waiting for it.
Okay. 20
Yeah.
seconds is not too bad.
No, no, it's not bad at all. I just think that maybe that means that you could just start like right into it. I don't know though from experience from your end of it, but I just thought I'd mention it.
Okay.
No.
Okay, thanks, Seth. So welcome everyone to the Cosmic Starseed Academy. These are the Saturday weekly gatherings and Pleiadian channelings. Today's date is the 28th of March, 2026, and it is 9:43 p.m. here in Ireland. And let me see. So I don't think I'm going to be doing a channeling this evening. Um, I'm going to be doing um, a reading for the collective using the cards by Doreen Virtue, the Ascended Masters, which I've had forever. So I'm going to be using these. And if you do have any questions in on YouTube on the chat, please do put them in. I will be keeping an eye on that and reading out any questions that you have. I have to keep switching kind of between two different screens. Hi, Christy. Um, mm, okay. Oh, they're just falling out. Dennis, would you like to begin with the prayers? If you're awake.
Okay,
Lovely.
we can do that.
Okay.
So I will begin with a prayer called the Law of One prayer. We are all one.
Are you able to put your camera on, Den?
No,
Okay.
we are all one. When one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is helped, all are helped. Therefore, in the name of who I am, and I am one with all there is, I ask for the greatest good of all here concerned. I give thanks that this is done. It is so. We are all one. When one is harmed, all are harmed.
Ooh.
When one is helped, all are helped. Therefore, in the name of who I am, and I am one with all there is, I ask for the greatest good of all here concerned. I give thanks. This is done. It is so. Finally, we are all one. When one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is helped, all are helped. Therefore, in the name of who I am, and I am one with all there is, I ask for the greatest good of all here concerned. I give thanks. This is done. It is so. And a short I am mantra. I am the light. I am the love. I am the truth. I am. I am the light. I am the love. I am the truth. I am. I am the light. I am the love. I am the truth. I am. Okay,
Oh,
thank you.
thank you, Dennis. So When I do readings, I normally choose 13 cards, which I've always done. And I just intuitively was guided to do that when I first started to do the readings. In, I think it was 2004, maybe 2002, 2000. Anyway, um, and I wanted to do a reading for the collective. And instead of choosing 13, 9 actually fell out. And I was just counting them there. And so 9 is significant because it's April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So it amazes me sometimes how spirit works with me and how accurate they are. And the little things like this, where 9 cards just fall out onto my desk here in front of me. The top 3 cards are, and I have to say that when I first started to do readings for the collective, I was very nervous because I was very unsure about how accurate they would be. I mean, I can do readings for people, and they always seem to be really accurate. But I wasn't sure how accurate the readings would be. And I'm quite, I guess at times I can be very much of a perfectionist. And I've been following Tarot by Janine for a while, who I think maybe she still does them, but she used to do readings for the collective back in 2019 and 2020 when things were really very difficult on planet Earth. And she was, I admire her. I like Janine, Tarot by Janine. I think she's very accurate. So I always aim to be as good as I possibly can. And I was very nervous about doing readings for the collective. However, I've been surprised myself because they always seem to be really accurate and I love doing them. But this evening, the top 3 cards are, they're quite emotional and what's the words I'm looking for? A lot of upheaval. A lot of upheaval. April, May, and June. April, May, and June. A lot of, and they've been saying that to me anyway. But yeah, January, February, March, April, May, June. So June is the 6th month, which is very interesting because they've been saying that for a while. So the top 3 cards are April, May, June. April is about detaching from drama and not engaging in what's happening on the outside world and finding your inner peace, your inner stillness. Finding your inner peace and your inner stillness and not allowing the outside world to kind of infiltrate you emotionally and protecting yourself if you're empathic from what's going on the outside world or even sometimes around you in the family, and not allowing that kind of drama or negative energy to affect you emotionally, which is a skill. It's a skill to be able to do that. And we're all learning daily. We're all learning daily how to do that. And some of us more consciously. The second card is May. And it's, I'll show them in a minute, but I just want to read out the top 3 first. So the second card is May. And it's about taking charge of the situation. And it's Moses holding back or parting or holding back the ocean. The ocean represents the emotions. So again, it's kind of backing up or clarifying the first card, not stepping into the emotions, detaching from them, and not allowing your own emotions or the outside world to infiltrate, maybe, or to affect you is a better word, not allowing them to affect you. And the third card, June this year, 2026, is about choosing peace, and it's the stomach chakra, which on a personal level is normally always about food and stomach sensitivity. But with the collective, it's more about energy. So there's going to be things happening in April, May, and June. And I'm going to hold these cards up now. Let me just... It also is showing me that there's going to be important, serious events taking place on the earth, April, May, and June. So this is the first card, detaching from drama, Pallas Athena. And then we have the ocean and Moses, and holding back the emotions, or not holding them back, but just being more of an observer of the outside world. And that's really important. April, May, and June, just being an observer to the outside world, and not kind of, coming away from the mainstream media, and not having fear around situations coming up and events coming up. And then choosing peace. This is the stomach chakra. When it's on a personal reading, it's the stomach chakra, which can also signify food allergies and the stomach being affected, or problems in the stomach area, which is also normally can be a very psychic thing, because it's one of the psychic main centers. So choosing peace and not stepping into the fear of events that are coming, or when the events are here, not just become an observer, try and detach from the outside world. And that family may also be very affected by it if they're on a if they're not as awake and aware or conscious as you are, then they'll have more fear. But there's big events coming up, big events, April, May, June. If you'd like to leave a small donation this evening, that would be really appreciated. You can find the buttons and the links on my website, somaara.love. So does anyone in the group now have any, or will I finish the reading first? Does anyone have any questions about what I've said so far? Because the rest of the reading is not as brutal, or the events. So the events, April, May, and June, and then after that, it feels more peaceful, more light coming in, more forgiveness, more positive change. It's more positive for the rest of the year. But April, May, and June, shit's going to be hitting the fan. So the reason I'm asking now is because the reading is the energy changes. April, May, June. So in July, the energy changes, July 2026. So I would normally wouldn't ask till the end of the reading, but because of this, because of what I'm seeing in the cards, does anyone have any questions either in the group or on YouTube? Tiffany.
Yes, ma'am.
I love it when you say that. There is, I don't know if it's one or if it's more than one, but there's a guide with you that's male that is very developed spiritually, as past life connection, and he feels very etheric, very mystical, and very Eastern, very Eastern. Not sure who he is, but he feels like he's really a teacher to you and his past life connection, and he feels I don't know, feels prominent, like he's almost regal, not in a royal, well, not in a royal sense, but in a more spiritual sense. And also you've got Yeshua working with you, or Jesus energy, and the scenes as well, that's coming through as well. So, and I know I gave you a reading the other day, but I can never remember them fully. So I don't know if that came through the other day. But anyway, anyone have any questions about these cards, either in the group here or on Facebook? Sorry, YouTube, I mean.
Would that explain why a lot of people are more emotional these days? I notice that I cry when I see people crying, and I feel their emotions deeply, like even more than usual. And thank you for the telling me right now about my guides. I appreciate that.
You're so welcome. We're really the human is changing into a more crystalline human being, and we're in such great change. It's going to be affecting us emotionally, energetically. A lot of us are very tired, and we kind of step in and out of that. And I know Dennis has been tired lately as well, and emotional stuff. We're really clearing a lot of stuff, not just our own stuff, but we're here to assist humanity to raise its consciousness, to raise its vibration and frequency. And part of that is helping, even unconsciously, to clear some of the damage and the baggage and the stuff that people have within themselves. And I was talking earlier, I was sharing about a story about, or an experience that my shamanic teacher was having, where he was just clearing, well, unconsciously, helping people to clear stuff. So there's huge stuff going on at the moment, and we really need to take care of our energy and mind our energy, and I can be susceptible to that as well. I think I give too much. But anyway, or maybe that's the wrong words, but I definitely at the moment am not giving myself enough. And I think that we need to do more of that. We need to give ourselves more self-nurturing. The reason I do that, the reason I overdo it, is because I know that this lifetime is so important, and I want to do my best to be of assistance. So I kind of do it till I drop. And I do need more balance, and that will come. But we do need to be aware that we are empathic. We do pick up energies from people, and sometimes we're not aware of it. There was a time years ago when I was just learning, just discovering that I had healing abilities. And I got into a taxi one day. It's a story I'd like to share with you all. I got into a taxi one day and I was just becoming aware that I was picking up other people's stuff, like headaches and stuff like that. And I got into the taxi and I was fine. And I was obviously sat next to the driver. And I started to get a back pain. And I was like, oh, that's a bit strange. And then I turned and looked at him and asked, it just dawned on me that it was his back pain. And had I not had the intuition to ask him, and he said, yes, I do. And he kind of looked at me as if to say, how do you know? And I never replied. I just kind of said, oh, okay, thanks. And then I got out of the car and I was fine. So I knew it wasn't my own back pain. And so sometimes we're not aware of that. Like most people would not think to ask the person they're next to, oh, do you have a back pain or a headache or you like, and we also pick up emotions. So we pick up emotions. We also pick up the physical stuff as well. So we just need to be a more kind of observant and aware that we are very empathic, and sometimes it's not a conscious thing. Sometimes we're not aware that the emotion is not our own, or that the physical symptoms, sometimes it's a small thing like a headache or back pain, or it's not our own. So, okay, so on to the reading. So let me see. April, May, June. July, peace offering. This is about really stepping into the energy of healing for the collective in July. The energy of healing for the collective in July. There's going to be a lot of people that will be at odds with what's happened in the world in July. They kind of won't know what's hit them. There'll be fear, there'll be loss, pain, suffering, which if you look at it from a different perspective, it's all about clearing out the negative. And we also have positive change that comes in with that. So it's stillness, peace, stepping into healing energy, all of us stepping into healing energy and sending that out to the collective for July. This is August. This is kind of the center of the reading. So this is the main card, which is about positive change. And this is kind of representing for the year. So positive change this year is coming. It's the light shining down on the dark. And I can almost see on one side you've got the dark, and then you've got the light or the sun coming in. So sometimes things do jump out at me within the cards. And the wheel of life, the wheel of fortune, we're really being, what's also jumping out at me in these cards is that we're really being given our power, self-empowerment, and jewels back. Our jewels would be abilities, awareness. Empathy can be kind of a funny one because it has many pros and cons with it. But light, energy, healing abilities, awareness, It's really, the light is really shining down on the dark, and things will come to surface. But overall, from July to December, things look much more positive. There's going to be an uptake, but this card is very important for the year. A lot of positive change, and there will be, either this year or next year, there will be real and fake landings, UFO landings. There'll be more events such as what happened in the Florida Mall. I can't remember when that was. I think it was last year or the year before. This is an increase of people coming out of the spiritual closet, and there'll be an uptake of spiritual people doing more podcasts and things. You know, in 2019, 2020, there was a real increase, which included myself. There was a real increase in people doing spiritual podcasts and talking about stuff, speaking out. And I can see that in, let me see, what month is this? April, May, June, July, August, September 2026, there'll be an uptake of an increase, a dramatic increase of people doing podcasts. And that kind of mirrors what I'm being shown, is that mirrors in 2019 or 2020, there was an increase of people doing podcasts. So, and that was due to events that were happening at the time. And it kind of feels like a similar thing here. So there must be events happening that encourages people or kind of pushes them to show up online with a microphone. September, October, we've got more light coming in. And these two cards feel very connected. Sometimes the cards do jump out at me as being connected, and sometimes things jump out at me that are not even in the cards. But these two cards are jumping out at me as being very connected. So we have an increase of podcasts, of information from light workers, psychics, mediums, channels, you know, all of that. And they feel like a younger generation, I have to say. They do feel like a younger generation, like a new wave of younger energy speaking up. And this card, light, and the sword of truth, knowledge, wisdom, frequency, pushing forward, cutting through the restrictions of the negative agendas and the royal and they do that to me. I went to say rules and regulations, and the word royals almost came out. So that's interesting, because a lot of us are very aware of who the royal family are, being reptilians and all of that stuff. So October, November is balance, 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 balance within your own lives, cooking, work, school, studying, teaching, nurturing yourself, enough sleep, enough food, enough water, balancing. It's really hard to do that these days. We've really come away from the days of our granny or granddads, you know, when it was very much about, you know, the kind of homestead. And I know my roots are very farmers, you know, rural farmers, but so it was all about self-sustainability. And we need to do that within our energy. So we need to maintain our energy and go within and balance everything in November. it's also jumping out at me that it's very much about we're coming away to our next level individually in November. We're coming away from things being so outside of ourselves and easy. And what I mean, like things like going to the supermarket to buy butter or milk or eggs or cheese or bread, all of those things we can make easily enough at home, easily enough with some of the modern tools we have, like food mixers and stuff. I know my granny would have spent hours making butter. We don't need to do that anymore. We don't need to spend hours doing it. We've got kitchen utensils and tools that are, you know, whiz up things within minutes. So it's about bringing in, it's about going back to nature and bringing in, making more of our own food, and coming away from the big supermarkets. I see that happening in November, which is interesting because I know there are, or I believe there are food shortages coming. So I don't know. The question is for me now, is this in November or is it, I had a message recently and previously that it's coming before November. But this is about balancing and nurturing and coming away from big pharma, big supermarkets, and all of that stuff, where it's so easy to go to the supermarket and buy stuff that is toxic. Like it's really toxic for us. I mean, they're putting freezing agents into cookie dough, for God's sake. And let's not talk about McDonald's. Okay, so December 2026, this is about simply trusting in divine timing, trusting in ourselves, trusting in God, trusting in our guides, but most importantly, just trusting in ourselves and that everything is perfect, although it may look like chaos, war, devastation in the outside world. And of course, there is that happening on a 3D level. But there is also, and I really learned this as a child because I was having simultaneous experiences really very profoundly on both levels, in both areas. So on one hand, I had a lot of trauma as a child that was very traumatic and devastating and blah, 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 all of that stuff. And then every time something like that would happen, I would have the most beautiful experiences that brought me so much teaching. So I've learned from a very young age that it's balance within the universe. It's balance. There is light and dark, and it's from our most traumatic devastation, either individually or collectively, that we can individually and collectively learn and grow the most. The cracks are where the light gets in. Oh, goodness. So it's coming back to ourselves and just kind of realigning and centering ourselves, and anchoring in the light and being the light. I would like to kind of pause there for a second and allow you to ask questions, whether you're in the Zoom with me now, or whether you're in the YouTube group. And I'd also like to blend them a bit more. So I'd like to invite those that are in the YouTube to come and join us in the Zooms. You can check all the details on my website, somaara.love. And so I would like to invite Dennis after the questions to also close out with prayer. But if that's okay, Dennis.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, thank you. So, does anyone have any questions about the reading or anything else, actually? But let's start with the reading.
I just want to chime in. I had another sighting last night. Another sighting, and I took pictures.
Hey, Amira, go ahead and share.
So I feel like they're definitely benevolent, whether Pleiadian or current. So a couple of weeks ago, when the weather was warm here, Friday night, because I like to sit in the balcony and I like to watch the sunset and be outside. Well, around 7:30, I see one. It looks like a bright, not a star, how do you say, like a bright white little dot, and it's sparkling, right? So I saw that, and it just hung around, and then, and that was earlier this month, and then 2 days later after that, the same thing, but in a different area, and I have posted it on my TikTok and my YouTube and my Facebook and Instagram. And yesterday I was trying to get some sun because, I need vitamin D and everything. Around 7:30, another one popped up. Another one popped up. It stayed there, the same type of blinking, like the same, I'll say, little white dot. It looked like a dot, but it was sitting there, and some people were trying to debunk it like, oh, it's a drone. It's just no, it's not a drone. Drone moves. This is not a drone. This is, so I had another sighting last night and I posted that. The same thing like the beginning of the month, okay? And it's sitting there. And then I went inside. So I feel like they want to show up. First, they contacted me in the astral realm and everything. Now I think they're slowly, I think it could be a star family. I don't know. Physically exposing yourselves or, saying, but I feel like they're around us a lot. And then I was taken up into the astral realm. I was taken up into the astral realm back in February, but you and I can talk privately about it. And then I have gotten some secret, very sensitive information about the e-files. So, but we'll talk about that privately. And you let me know if you want me to say that publicly. Thanks, sweetheart.
Thanks, Amira. Do you have any questions about the reading?
Well, June, what's going to happen in June? And that's my birthday month. And then what about the food shortages? Because yes, they're upgrading, what do you call it, petro over there. Gas, petrol is going up. And then that will affect food and everything. It's a chain reaction. So what is this about the food source? Thank you. And I did put a video out there warning people, have 14 days worth of water, filtered water, beeswax candle, batteries, solar power, electronics and solar power flashlights, blankets, non-perishable foods, medicine. So I had to get that. But that's what I had. Thank you, honey.
Thanks, Amira. So what I will say is that they've been sharing. I'm sorry, guys, I'm gonna smoke. I don't like doing it on camera, but I'm gonna have a cigarette. So they have.
Cheers, enjoy.
Thank you. I will. They've been saying for a while that actually since 2019, 2020, that when I say they, I mean the Pleiadians. specifically Ashtar, they have been saying for a while that there will be food shortages. And there will be water shortages, there will be blackouts, there will be all of that stuff. So prepare, prep, become a prepper, which I've done. And I've did that previously and then moved from England to Ireland. So then gave away all the food, which was fine. I would rather have done that than not had the food should I have had needed it. But I would say, and this has been coming up a lot recently, so I would say would be wise for people to have a good stock of maybe a week's supply of food, water, candles, all of that stuff. And maybe also a go bag, something that you can just pick up and go, should anything happen. And if it doesn't, that's fine, you know. But it would be wise for people to prepare. And should nothing happen, nothing happens. But I think people have been saying it for a long time, and I think it is coming. I think it has been, I think there's been positive influence where things have been not happened in the past, things that were predicted that didn't happen or didn't happen to the extent that the negative agenda had wanted or planned. Because we do have assistance from positive ET races, such as the Pleiadians. So I would recommend having a good stock of supply, you know, things like pasta and rice, kind of, and it can be cheap, stables, or what do you call them? I don't know if it's stables or not, but anyway, cupboard foods, you know, the dry goods. Thank you. The dry goods that we can store away. And I don't really eat a lot of pasta or rice because I'm diabetic and it's not good for me, but I occasionally I do. And so, you know, it's good to have a supply of that. May is very important. May is very important. That's coming now. So yeah, all of that. I'm not really going to go into the events that are coming because I'm not really seeing, they're not showing me, you know, right now in this moment, I'm not being shown any more information. And I think that is a safeguard, because they do not want to put fear into people, you know. Yeah. So any more questions? Anyone?
Yes, I had typed it on the YouTube. I was saying that I'm assuming that all the PDF files and this distraction from them, the conflict in Iran, I feel like it's all part of a tower moment for humanity. And it's a I'm seeing it as a catalyst to usher and separate New Earth from Old Earth. That's what I'm assuming. And it's hard, but we gotta stick together and just, like you said, prep, you know, and endure it just to see it through. But I would
Yeah,
like your opinion on it.
I'm sorry, Tiffany, say that again.
That's okay. I was trying to say I would like your opinion on it. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe that's just me trying to be, I always try to be optimistic. So
My opinion
on why things are hard and so low vibrational in the world at this moment, and why we're feeling things even more in an intense manner.
Yeah. Because we're in this lifetime, which is hugely important, it is off scale in terms of like we're human beings are changing. Their whole physiology is changing, and we are in the dawn of a new era, of an evolutionary period, and everything is it's upgrading and changing and moving forward. And things do seem dark at the moment, but we are moving forward into a new human being, into a new energy, into a new crystalline human being. And everything that's happening in the world at the moment is exposing the dark. It's been there since the downfall of Atlantis, since we were invaded. Since we were invaded by a negative reptilian species that decided to enslave us and put us into what many people call a prison planet. And now we are breaking free of that. And those negative energies and powers that be are part of the three-letter agencies. They are part of the government systems. They are part of the big pharmaceutical companies. They are part of the military. They are part of all of the systems that have been governing us for so long, including the monetary system, which has a lot of black magic owning the money. So everything is just crumbling and burning up and falling down and being demolished. It's a changing of the guard. It really is. And so we are of a different ilk, a different frequency, a different vibration. We, as starseeds, we are different. Our awareness is different. Our perspectives, our understanding, the way we look at the world, our ideas are can be seen as beyond our years and very much visionaries. And yeah, so, but there is a positive outcome and love does win. So hold the light, hold the torch. And whenever you feel that, step into the energy of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. And really, take 5 minutes out. Whether you're at work or in the supermarket or at home cooking, wherever you are, when you feel it, if you get a wave of negativity or negative energy coming at you, know that it's not your energy, and take 5 minutes out to kind of center yourself and step into the energy of Jesus and your guides and Mary Magdalene and Sophia energy, and just center yourself and fill yourself with love and light and the frequency of love. I want to say thanks to everyone for showing up this evening, and I'm going to check the YouTube comments in a minute, but is there anything else anyone would like to share? And Tiffany, you're not normal.
Yeah, I figured that ever since I was little, because it was always hard to make friends, always hard to fit in, and I could always tell. I could read people just by looking at them. So,
I hear you.
oh, so Cola just said that you are so lovely and beautiful, Soma. I mean, she's not wrong.
Thank you. You should see me in the morning. I always like to make light of that, but of when people say that, but thank you. I have my down times as well. I'm just trying to navigate through these difficult times and, always try to bring my best, even though I may not be at my best. Um, which is all any one of us can really do, isn't it? It is keep keep up the good fight, keep on keeping on, as Blossom Goodchild says quite a lot. Um, I
Yeah, I fully agree.
I have been watching some of the Barbie Chronicles, the videos on the TikTok and social medias, and I just find them hilarious. Some of them I really can see that crazy Barbie in myself. Um, I don't know if you guys know what I mean or have seen them, but I just find them so funny. Um, some of them more than others. And I've just ordered a one of those hair extension clips. So, and of course, the Barbie in these video chronicles, she has the long Barbie hair, you know. Um, so I just, yeah, I do see aspects of myself, of the crazy Barbie, um, just moving forward as everything burns up behind me. Um, but yeah, I ordered one of those clips, the hair extension clips. So as soon as they turn up, you guys will be seeing me with um one of those in. So we'll see what it looks like. Um, but I'm looking forward to that.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that. Have you seen the Halo extensions? It's like like a fish like a fishing what is it? The material that they use like for fishing, the fishing cord, the clear one, and then it's got like it wraps around your crown and it's a hair extension and makes your hair longer. You can wear it down with your hair down.
I haven't seen those. What are they called?
Halo hair extensions?
I'll have to Google that, Tiffany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law wears one. She loves it.
Halo. I'll have to have a look at that.
Yes.
Julia is in the YouTube chat, and I just wanted to say, you know, it's lovely that you're taking a holiday stroke retreat, and I wish I was there. And I hope it's really lovely weather there. So let me see. I'm going to go over to YouTube. Um,
Yes. Yous all just said it. It's fishing line, the material that holds the hair extension on your crown.
It doesn't sound great, Tiffany.
I mean, it doesn't, but I actually tried one time. I think I was stationed in Germany and I had a bob and it was growing out and I wanted longer hair for dinner and it wasn't too uncomfortable. I guess it depends on how you place it on your hair, on your crown. But yeah.
I will have to look at. I will Google those though. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to. Oops. I keep. Okay. Um. Yes, exactly, Psychola. Um, Prep, but don't live in fear. That's really what I've been saying and trying to get across is preparation, you know, and then forget about it. You don't need to be constantly living in fear. Just preparation is enough. Yes, and Psychola, that's very important. Psychola has said in YouTube, are women waking up more than men? When it comes to this spiritual war, because my husband does not feel any of this, yes, there is a very different energy between male and female. We are made differently. We think differently. We walk differently. We speak differently. We act differently. We are different. There has been huge targeting against women, especially in some of the dark ages, they've often said we're still in the dark ages. But there has been huge targeting of women on this planet in the past, and still today. And that is because women are different. And a lot of that targeting has come from the top down, the top being the reptilian invaders of our planet. Because women were made differently. There was a time on this planet when women were in charge and not in charge in terms of a hierarchy, really, but more in terms that their spiritual energy was acknowledged and as a goddess energy. Um, and women are naturally the vast majority of women are naturally more spiritual because of the way that we're made or they're made. That's not including the spiritual men, because there are a group of or a classification of spiritual men that are very well balanced between their male and female energy. And I would class Dennis as that, and also Christy Clark as that, where they're really kind of have balanced their male female energy. And most spiritual men have balanced their male female energy. Yeah, so that's a whole other subject. Yeah. Okay. And G. Matson has asked, is it possible to experience the big flash when it even comes? Will you please come and join one of the maybe the Sunday group tomorrow and ask that question when I'm doing the channeling? And if I don't do the channeling, well, one of the sessions, you need to ask that, darling, when I'm in a channeling. And the details are on my website. Thank you, Psychola. Haven, that's very funny. A man on a boat like the ferryman. That's very funny, Julia. Um, I'm having trouble scrolling up and down in the YouTube chat. G. Matson has shared, I saw myself as a child in a room. I understand creation, all that had been done and experienced. And it was time to rest and began to call all matter back to me and all things absorbed into me. That sounds like a Kundalini awakening, which we often mistake as being just an out-of-body experience. Yes, and Christy Clark channels Venturus, who is an amazing being. Absolutely. Okay, let's see. And Christy Clark has said, yes, there is also soul contracts, a kind of agreement your soul makes before you're born. Yeah. Oh God, I can't believe it's 11:15. My God, where's the time gone? Time seems to be really looping for me at the moment. I keep stepping in and out of kind of it either speeds up or really slows down, like noticeably. So unless there's anything else, Dennis, would you close out, please, in prayer? Unless anyone would like to share anything.
Very good. Thank you all. Thank you, Soma. And I will say the very simple prayer, Ho'oponopono, which has never been more in need for healing and clearing in a world where chaos is manifesting itself. So let us put our attention on the turmoil without and what troubles us within. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, darling. I'm just going to end the recording there. And I'm going to go downstairs and make some nice food. And I will see you all tomorrow, 7 p.m. Irish time.
Sounds
Have a good
good.
night. Get some
Thanks.
rest.
Bye, y'all.